Okay, Jess. So I'm gonna ask you some questions about 21st century skills.
Let's do it.
And the first one is, what is the importance of developing 21st century skills for learners?
I think to prepare them for like a different work environment that is always changing and adapting, and especially with how quickly things are changing in the workplace and education with technology and like collaborative workspaces. I think it's super important that students know how to work within teams, work independently towards a team goal. Obviously, technology is a big part of that, like having the skills to be successful in those schools. So yeah, I think we have to get them ready to know how to work together and use their communication skills, their technology skills, and it starts all the way in kindergarten.
All right, thank you. What would you say are the most important 21st century skills?
Ooh, I know there's like a million of them, but the ones, I mean, you know, I love technology, and obviously we all use technology a lot. So for sure, technology and collaboration probably. I think that, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of jobs now that are like shared workspaces. So like these big companies like Google and MeWork, these like people are working just in like one big room together, and there's like a buzz that's almost kind of like reminds me of like a newsroom you would see, like a newspaper room in movies. But yeah, kids just have to, I think, know how to work with like stimulation around them, working at a fast pace, working collectively. So I don't know, collaboration and technology are probably my big ones.
All right. What are common arguments you hear against implementing a 21st century model?
Oof. You know, I have a lot of these. Well, for technology, a lot of people are afraid that they're going to be missing out on developing like motor skills, or they have to be able to write, or how often people tell us like, you know, students need to be able to write in cursive. And so there's always those battle of generations of what's important, right? Like, but now tests are moving towards, they're all typing and on computers, they're not written by hand. So those typing skills, you know, it's working different types of small muscles. So I'm sure that's a huge one that I hear a lot of, is like less technology, more off-screen time for small kids. And some places that feel like kids need to learn to sit and work quietly, but I mean, no one likes to do that, so.
Okay, are students expected to just consume information, or are they asked to create something original that demonstrates their learning?
Here,
Well,
I would say here it's a lot of demonstrate their learning. You know, there are some moments for creating, but within writing, at least, we have a lot of choice-based writing, so that's nice for them. But I do think a lot of it is expecting them to just memorize things to demonstrate their learning.
okay. How do you articulate 21st century skills in your school curriculum with the necessities of your students in the classroom?
A lot of partner talk, you know, not expecting students to just one by one raise their hand to answer a question. So having them talk to partners before sharing, giving them like thought-provoking texts or books that make them think about other things, letting them work at their writing tables, work at their writing groups, their phonics groups, so that they can collaborate and develop those skills together. We do a little bit of technology in here that we can with iPads. You know, we try and do the phonics game and the reading and read to self and recording yourself. But as you know, I would love to do more with that. And I'm trying to think. We could definitely do more like creating in here, and you know, I would like for there to be more play-based learning so students can work on different types of things together. But yeah, those are just some things that stick out.
Yep. The next one is, should 21st century skills be implicitly or explicitly taught?
Good question. I mean, I think at our age group that we have to kind of explicitly teach them because we have to teach them how to blow their nose. So I think it's always best to explicitly teach because you can never assume that every kid is coming from the same background before school where they've been exposed to things. So probably explicitly.
Do external examinations reflect the efficacy of teaching 21st century skills?
No.
Okay. How well do 21st century skills being used in your school translate to a real world situations?
I mean, I guess it's harder for us because we're so young, but when I walk around the school in the elementary and the middle school and the high school and I see what they're doing, they, I think, do a nice job, at least with the technology side, one-to-one devices, all of that. I think that the nice thing about our curriculum is that we are okay with them sitting at their desk and talking and reading at the same time and writing and talking at the same time. So that's kind of different than most schools or places I've come from. They felt like when you're writing, you have to be quiet and focused. So it's nice that it's kind of a shared, flexible learning time. It's not like expected to be completely silent like it is in a lot of schools. Yeah. So that's nice.
How are 21st century skills reflected in the school ethics?
I mean, to my knowledge, they're there in the ethos, but they're not necessarily being implemented young enough. Like, if we're really trying to have these collaborative, creative thinkers that are thinking outside the box and using all of these different skills, it starts with K4 and K5. And I think that it's not exactly aligned yet. I think that they hope we're doing this, but we're still learning how to do it. And I think it comes from more play-based learning with younger kids, letting them have a lot of exposure to playing, disagreeing, agreeing, trying to solve problems, build things together, play games. So I think it's almost there. Like, they're hopefully working towards it because they do talk about it in their like goals and mission statements of the school.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and the last one. What is the best approach to overcome the challenge of some students not being willing to collaborate, a skill that is central to the 21st century skills, with their peers or group projects?
Like, which one is better, or how do we?
How?
I think through explicit instruction, kind of like intentionally partnering them with kids that they trust and feel comfortable with, having teachers or adults have good relationships with those kids so they can show them how to collaborate. I mean, we see it every day, but I think that sometimes the right partner and the right connection is what they need to start to feel comfortable in practice. And it's a skill they have to learn how to do. So I think with just explicit instruction from teachers and young kids, like helping them, and not just like, oh, when they talk or something, just like walking around and being busy, like being intentional and getting in those conversations with kids and helping them, give them sentence starters and things like that so they can talk.
All right. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Hi everyone, my name is Alejandra, and that was my interview with Jessica Cito, my partner teacher in K5. And I have to say, she said almost everything, and I totally agree with what she was saying. Here at CNG, the school tries to implement 21st century skills in its curriculum. It is planted inside, but as she was saying, unfortunately for primary school, the 21st century skills are not like that evident. Although we have iPads and we try to use it, I think we need like more. The curriculum, K5 students, for example, is very heavy. It has like a lot of content, and during K5 they have to learn lots of things that that's more or less the discussion we have every day, because if they are little kids, and they should be just playing and learning through playing, like using that play-based learning for learning. But the curriculum we have is very, very like content-based. So the students are required to show what they know. They must of course maybe be creative when writing or playing different reading books or different things. But in terms of being more creative, for example with math or other like science and other things, it is like more like follow what's in the curriculum, and that's it. And as I was saying, we have iPads, but students don't really have the time to use it. So this year, in our class specifically, we are trying to change that a little bit, like trying to implement more play-based learning, to have centers, to have like different things so they can follow the 21st century skills. And our classroom is like the model, the model, or not like a model, but that kind of classroom that is like just like a try, and let's see how that goes. I know some years ago CNG wasn't like that, and I don't know why they changed, but they are trying now to see if what they have before was better than what we have now. So that's why our classroom is kind of different from the other 6 K5 classes we have. And in our classroom, we have to follow the curriculum, but as I was saying, we try to mix it with different things. In that we have the collaborative 21st century skills. We have we have partner talk with peanut butter and jelly friends. We have, of course, our groups. We have different things in our classroom. So that's really good that we can do that the school allow us to try to see what's better for the kids. And so, yeah, the 21st century skills are in our classroom. But as I was saying, not in the whole primary school. So hopefully after this and next year and the years that are coming are gonna be different. And at CNG, the 21st centuries are very obvious in upper grades, like high school. We have our like a place where they can just go and create videos and create different things for their classes. They have, of course, technology. They have their own computers. They have different things for them to create, to really like have a task and try to work with a team and see how they're gonna solve that task or how they are gonna do it. So yeah, I'm very happy with this interview and how we can express ourselves of how we think we are feeling about 21st centuries in our school. So thank you very much.